So, tell me why you decided to come to Los Altos.
Well, I began my. Should I be looking? Okay. Well, I started my career in Los Altos. I was an English teacher here from '94 to 2000, and so I have fondness for this place. Most of the colleagues that I started my career with are still here, like Mr. Rosenberg and Miss Oliver and Miss Robertson. So the opportunity to come back and work with those guys again was great. I love this school. I love this campus. There was also, I was, with Dr. Waite retiring in the library, it created a permanent position for me here, which, was nice because library positions don't really come up that often, especially at a school like this. And so I was very lucky to be in the middle of getting my library credential when this opportunity came up, and so I could just move right into it.
So in between the years about, I think you said 2000?
Yeah.
Now, what have you been doing?
So I've been doing a lot. It's funny because I've always worked in the district. So from 2000, let's see if I have this right. Well, so in 1999, I went and taught at the International School in Santiago, Chile for a year. Then I came back and I did a new teacher support program, it's called BITSA. And that's a program in which they assign a teacher to work with all the new teachers in the district to kind of help them through their first 2 years of teaching. So I did that for 5 years in the district, working with new teachers at Los Altos and Mountain View. And then after that, I got the opportunity to start Freestyle Academy. So I worked with the superintendent there, Rich Fisher, to start that academy program, hired teachers all from Los Altos, and we kind of created that program and worked there for 5 years. I went and I did a Fulbright for 6 months in Buenos Aires, Argentina, in the middle of that, and came back. And then at the end of 5 years, once Freestyle was up and running and doing great, I was ready to kind of move into the library position because that'd been the position I'd been interested in for a while, and had talked to Dr. Waite about when she was retiring, and she just kept putting it off until finally she said it's happening. And and then so it ended up working out great. We found this terrific replacement for me over at Freestyle, who's amazing, and I feel confident that I can kind of leave there, and the program is doing phenomenally well with teachers there, and move into this next phase. So.
You said that you were teaching in Chile and Argentina?
Yeah. Well, in Chile, I taught at an international school there for a year in Santiago, Chile, and then in Argentina, I got a grant that let me work on a project down there. So I wasn't really teaching, even though I was working with a variety of schools down in Buenos Aires. It wasn't teaching like a day-to-day classroom experience. It was more working on a project involving freestyle and schools down there.
And so when you were in Argentina, was that almost kind of a pilot for freestyle here?
No. So that's freestyle had been going for about 4 years. Okay. Yeah. So what I did is my grant was to take a unit that we do at Freestyle, which is this self-portrait unit where students have to communicate something about themselves in an image that doesn't have them in it, and so they have to think very conceptual about what's the idea about myself that I want to present, find a way to visualize that, and that becomes their self-portrait. So what I did is I took those self-portraits and created a kind of exchange of self-portraits with students down there, so that our students and Argentinian students were exchanging self-portraits back and forth, kind of like the way you used to do with letters, like pen pals, and each one had to build on the other's self-portrait. So it was this project called Correspondencias Visuales, which is sort of based off of the work of a famous Argentine photographer that I just incorporated into my project and had high school students do. So.
And then also you said that you recently got your library credential?
I am in the process of doing it. So right now I'm getting my master's in information science at San Jose State. And so it's about especially when you do it part-time, it's about a 3-year program. And so I'm in the middle of that right now.
Can you describe how that's different from a teaching credential?
It's interesting because you have to have, in this program, you get a library credential, which allows you to work in high school libraries. And in order to get that, you have to already have your teaching credentials. So their expectation now is that librarians will be teachers. You know, they're not just in charge of checking in and checking out books or maintaining a library, but the expectation is really that you're going to be in the classroom and working with students, and so you need to have both a teacher credential and a library credential. And so they assume that you've got all that sort of, you know, teaching stuff down. In order, now you just build on that about finding out how to kind of create a collection here, how to manage a library, how to help students with research skills, with social networking skills, you know, all the sort of information literacy that's happening today. They sort of help you figure out how to bring that into the classroom and help students get better at it. And so that's kind of the bulk of it.
And then probably my last question, can you describe how Los Altos has changed since you were here in the 90s?
That's a good question. You know, wow. I've only been here a week, or a little over a week, so it's hard for me to tell right now. And my circumstances are so different because, you know, I'm not in a classroom. I'm in a very different place than I was when I was here. I know the staff has gotten a lot younger, or I've gotten a lot older. I don't know which it is, but like, yeah, I feel older while I'm here. Whereas, you know, when I was here last time, I was like one of the youngest teachers. I was the Michael Mole of Los Altos back then. Now I'm the Galen Rosenberg. Yeah. So and I was the advisor of the Talon too, and that was like by far, I think, a lot of what we did at Freestyle I modeled after my experience being the advisor of the Talon, because I just think that is like the kind of work I see people in journalism and Talon do is just amazing. The kind of initiative you take, the work ethic you guys have, and I think a lot of that is derived by the fact that you guys get to sort of pick your own stories and pursue them. And like we tried to incorporate that a lot into Freestyle model. But back to your question, I think that's it. You know, as far as I've been able to pick up right now, it's it seems like it just seems like there's a whole lot of energy here, you know, and especially coming from the newer staff and even like I think some of the changes that have happened in the administration with Ms. Pasalo and Mr. Rosenberg, you know, kind of replacing. There just seems to be a lot of energy here and a lot of kind of enthusiasm about being here that, you know, I was there when I was there, but I didn't remember it as much as I remember now. So,
Well, thank you very much.